Hello, everybody, and welcome to our daily check-in. I will admit I'm partially freezing at the moment, but I decided that today I was going to wear my LSU Odell Beckham Jr. jersey. And the reason why I'm wearing my LSU hat and jersey, etc., is because today in history, I'm going to be talking about two things that are actually connected to the state of Louisiana. So in 1803, it became official that the Louisiana Purchase was going into effect. That is where the United States gained a whole bunch of land from France. And in 1812, on April 30th, it was the day that Louisiana officially became a state. So why am I sharing that? Well, I thought today's video we could talk about kind of like that ripple effect, how just strange things happen. So if you flash forward, it's now 1991, and I was super excited. I got accepted to Louisiana State University. And when I went down there, my parents decided to move down there right across from Lake Pontchartrain. And I got to see Shaquille O'Neal play basketball there, which was fantastic. I got to watch LSU win a couple of, or at least one baseball national championship. Their football team wasn't so good then. But I met some really nice people, and I ate some really good food, which I talked about in a previous video. However, I went as an accounting major, which was not good for me. So probably because math is really not my thing, but I don't know what I was thinking. So I left, and it took me a long time to actually graduate college by the time I went to a different school, and I ended up graduating from Boston University. So why do I talk about these things? Well, if I went to Louisiana State University for a teaching degree, who knows, maybe I'd be teaching in Louisiana and not making these videos for my students here, for you guys here in New Jersey. It could also be I never would have met my wife, which means I never would have had the kids that I've had, or living in the town, working in the school that I'm working in now. So things just kind of happen very, sometimes it seems to work out, right? So today is the anniversary of a friend of mine who is 6 years cancer free, which is phenomenal. So if you are a cancer survivor, shout out to you. Obviously, you didn't give up, strong fighter, and an inspiration, I'm sure, to all the people around you. So the reason why I'm talking about her is because, so her husband's family is from the New Orleans and Louisiana area. And because of that, his cousin played at LSU, was football, and now plays for the Saints. And when my daughter, younger daughter, began cheering in the town that I live in, she became friends with her daughter, which then her mother became friends with my wife, which then I became friends with her husband. So, and then I find out that they have family in Louisiana, and that went to the college that I actually went to. And the odds of that are kind of low. But what's even cooler is this particular person currently teaches at a school that I went to when I was in middle school, which is kind of cool. So things happen for a very strange reason. Now, I always think of the teachers that I've come across with it at the school at RMS, and even that is just you just never know who's going to bump into you, right? So when I had Miss Hodson work with me as we were co-teaching a class, I mean, just out of all the people that could have come in my room, I was very grateful for her because she's always so upbeat and positive. Just like when I first started teaching, I had Dale Baumwall as my mentor. So what if I had someone else? Who knows, right? I met some very cool people at Randolph, and I always find it interesting how somehow things connect, and then these people make your life better. So, for example, my wife works in a nearby town, and one of the guidance counselors at that town lives in Randolph. And coincidentally, her and my wife became friendly, and then I ended up having this particular person's son as a student, that then I became very close with his mom to become more friendly, and now I consider her a very good friend, and that is Mrs. Wagner. So it's just the reason why I'm saying these things is that people will come into your life, and you just don't know what made that happen, and sometimes maybe we'll say it's fate. I don't know. But just like you guys all came into my classroom this year, I mean, it was random, obviously, to a degree, But I got the opportunity to learn all about your little, quirks and things and such, and it's been quite enjoyable. But you, the reason why I'm saying this is that there's somebody who maybe has not entered your life yet, who's going to end up being your best friend or somebody you have grown very fond of, and that you can trust and rely on. Because you always want to have people that you can talk to when you're feeling down, especially in situations like this, where we're stuck home. Having the opportunity to have people to talk to is very beneficial. I know that when Mrs. Swaim, she used to teach at Randolph High School, and she decided they moved her. She came to the middle school, and when she came to the middle school, it was, I didn't really know her that well, but now I know her really well, and she's a very good friend of mine. And it was all because she came from the high school, and then it turns out that we live in the same town. So because we had moved here because we wanted to be closer to, friends and family, etc. So it's been very nice, living closer to her and her family. Um, I would say that as you are experiencing your time at home, you know, think about, how did you meet your friends? We talked about this prior, but when you're thinking about what you're going to do with your life, sometimes you have a plan, right? And when you have that plan set in place, you're like, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be great. And then it turns out to not be great. And then the plan after that turns out to be better. Like, I thought that I wanted to be just like my older sister and be an accountant. And then I realized that math is really not for me, so I had to find something else, something that would inspire me. And I used to do a lot of different jobs in the meantime until I realized that I really needed to go back to school. And when I went back to school, I coincidentally, as I said in a previous video, sat down in a class. I had on a Mickey Mouse watch, and that was the watch that really connected me to my current wife, who happened to be a teacher, who happened to even be from New Jersey. I mean, everything just worked out perfectly as far as that goes. So as you are going through life, just know that just because you have a plan set in place doesn't mean it won't change. And just because it changes, it doesn't mean it's not going to get better. We all have those ups and downs in life, right? So we know that when we're feeling really good, we have a vibe about us. Like today at our school for Spirit Week is Rainbows of Hope Day, which I know made Mrs. Coca and I very happy, because that is something we are very passionate about. So there's something about a rainbow. Like today is stormy, it's crummy, which is kind of interesting to know that today was Rainbows of Hope Day on such a stinky day. But you guys are the rainbows. You are the ones that are bringing hope to people. You are the ones that bring smiles to people. It could be your grandparents, it could be aunts and uncles, your parents. Uh, you know, like I've said in previous videos, it is not easy being a parent. So we do everything we can to make sure you guys have a good situation, but sometimes we need you to cheer us up. Sometimes it's our pets. I feel like our dog is always like our rainbow because he always seems to be happy. But keeping that in mind, like I was saying, like if you have a plan and it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean you just give up. It means you create a new plan. So if you've had a plan while you have been home to make yourself upbeat and happy, and it's not working, then change the plan. Think about who you speak to, who you can reach out to. If you were feeling overwhelmed in school, talk to your teachers. I mean, we definitely understand. It's not easy. Okay, so make sure you reach out to us. But know that things, I don't know, I always find that things seem to work out. And honestly, from somebody who literally fights it the whole time, this is not gonna work, it's gonna be terrible, this is just gonna be a big mess and nothing's gonna be right, blah, 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 blah. And then next thing you know, I'm like, wow, this couldn't have happened any better. So you just don't know. So just try to stay positive, look for those rainbows, be the rainbow, right? Make everybody, try to make everybody as happy as you can, and make sure you tell people how you feel. So as I wear my LSU gear, I wear it because even though my plan was to graduate from this college, it did not happen. I ended up graduating from Boston, which is so far away, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But I still have a tie to down there, meaning I still care about that city. I love Louisiana, I love LSU, and I will always love LSU. So just think about as you're going through life, just know that things change, things happen for a reason. Um, and in this situation, I think let's just say maybe it's happening because it's going to give us an opportunity to slow down, spend some time with our family, because we're all just running around like crazy people all of the time. So, as the weekend is approaching, I hope that you have an awesome weekend. We'll do one more check-in video tomorrow, but I just have to say that for all the students who there have messaged me, you know, said some funny things, cracked jokes throughout the year, whatever, I just want to say that I appreciate you guys quite a bit. Even the kids who drive me crazy at times, I appreciate you too, because I came into teaching because I like, working with kids and having people feel better about themselves, because I feel like that is one thing that is a strength that I have, is to make people feel better and to show my empathy for them. But it's how you guys have acted towards me over this last 4 to 5 weeks. Um, I've appreciated it very much. So keep those good vibes coming, share them with your family, and until our next check-in, just know that your teachers care about you. Make sure you hug your parents and your family members and tell them you love them. Check in on them and check in on your teachers. Throw them a nice message here and there. I'm sure they would appreciate it. And, I'm proud of you guys. Just keep up the good work, okay? Until our next check-in, peace out.